How would you like to sell $1 million worth of balloons in your professional balloon company? My name is Sarah Meyer. I'm the host of the Bright Balloon podcast, and I help you make more money while eliminating stress. And while I certainly don't have the recipe to make $1 million, our guest today does. I am chatting with Blenda Barrier, who is the owner of Balloon Construction and Event Company out of Florida, and she is on a quest to hit a million, and I think she's going to do it this year. She is sharing not only how she grew her business, but what positions she has in her company that allow her to achieve that type of success, those type of sales, while she rarely ever touches a balloon. Thank you so much to Blenda for sharing so openly. We got to do this episode in person, which is always really fun. I'm such a fan of Blenda and how she runs things. And I think you're going to love this episode. Even if you do $2,000 in balloon sales a year, there's something for you to learn. So let's get into this week's episode. All right, welcome. Blenda, I'm so excited to talk to you. Can you give us an introduction and tell us a little bit about your business and where it is?
Yes, hi. I am from Jacksonville, Florida, and we have been in the industry for close to 25 years, and it has evolved like crazy.
Yeah, and today I wanted to chat about you as the business owner because I feel like you're very passionate about running your business. Like you are in control, but you are not the one blowing up the balloons and bringing them. So I think that's unique and that's hard to get to. You don't do that accidentally. So how have you set up your business in the sense that you can kind of manage and not be the one out there on the weekends doing all the jobs?
Right. Yeah. So I am by far an entrepreneur. I am motivated by business, and that's what fires me up. I get super excited. And sometimes I have to reel myself in with a new idea or concept because there's so much out there.
Yeah.
But as far as um, having a team, the more I can delegate, the more I can take on.
Yeah. Do you remember the first hire you made?
Yeah, I had a couple temporary hires for a while, but I worked outside of the balloon business. Was a bartender basically
Okay.
for 20 years. And so the last 10 years of bartending, I had hired an employee and he worked with me and he's still with me today.
Oh, did I make this up? Didn't you have someone go full time before you were full time?
Yes. So
Okay, explain that.
yeah, so I was working and my job was super flexible, but I had him come on and he was on payroll before I left my job because I could send him out and do jobs
Yeah.
and installs specifically. And that's what he does to this day because I don't want to be out and about for every single event.
Yeah. What is happening at your business at home right now? So we're recording this live from the Tough Techs experience.
Yeah.
So has everything screeched to a halt? I'm assuming not.
No, they are there. They're inflating for this weekend and we had a grand opening today. But something that happened this week that was kind of funny is I was on the phone and it was on speaker. And I was talking to Darren, the guy that I was just talking about, and he's like, "Well, where are you? Are you here? Or are you out of town next week?" So my team didn't even know I was out of town because I like to keep them on their toes.
Okay.
And so I'm here all week, and they're just now figuring out that I'm not even in town.
Okay. So it's like business as usual.
Business as usual.
Is your ultimate goal then for the business to run without you, or do you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. And it pretty much so can. I still oversee a lot.
Okay.
But I like to go to the large installs and I like to still be our large clients. I like to go and continue that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Although a lot of the employees and in the reviews, you'll see that they compliment the install team
Okay.
and they know that it's not me.
Cool.
And so I'm not on sales. And then I have a production manager. So if somebody else selling, somebody else in production, that doesn't inflate, but she pulls all the balloons and vinyl. And then I have a couple people inflation and then delivery. So I'm only get pulled in on a special creative design
Okay.
on any part of that.
Yeah.
So if sales has something that's not classic or typical to sell, then they'll ask me questions.
Okay. I think most people here raised their hand when it said they were in business from 3 to 5 years. So I don't think many of them have any of those positions. So can we go position by position and just break that down a little bit? Because like, oh, just hire a salesperson. I'm like, well, what do they do? How do they know what to sell? When do they ask you questions? Like, I just am curious what each of those categories really do and how you got them to that point.
Yeah. So this we'll start with sales because that's where it is. And we have been in business for so long. So we have a lot of repeat clients
Hmm.
and we have a lot of clients that fill out the form. So they'll tell us a little bit about what they want. And then we give them some options through our leads. We'll automatically email them. So if we get a lead that has something that's going to require a little more creative,
Hmm.
we have a box in our CRM that says needs creative help, and that's where I get pulled in.
Okay.
So we'll move our event over to that position. But, or she'll Slack me. We use Slack to communicate amongst our team. And we have a whole channel of Slack that's they need help. So
Okay.
they tag me and I can jump in and answer questions.
Gotcha.
And that's what the sales team, she has a catalog.
Hmm.
And we have lots of catalogs. So there's pricing and we have pricing menus for her to look at internally. And so she'll price there. So we have a very specific system within the sales process. Like our emails are titled a certain way.
Okay.
So we have procedures in how that works and they follow that.
Interesting. So is there ever a time like, we're sitting right by these like giant balloon dogs made of 3-foot rounds. I'm like, that's not in my cattle. I have no idea.
No.
So if that comes in, are you involved in that pricing or is your salesperson a little like, does she have the freedom to be like, I think that looks like it's $1,000?
She can do that, but she's definitely going to she's going to ask some questions.
Okay.
She's not going to do it on her own.
Okay.
And she does know how to dissect garland to say, okay, this is how many feet, or there's so many columns.
Right. Because
within
they
that
send you a
wall.
picture, right? They're like, we
Right.
want this.
She's learned how to do that, or she'll say, because she never goes on site. She's never on site. She's behind a computer. But she'll send a picture and say, can we rig to this point?
Yeah.
Or, she has no idea if we have a backdrop or can we get this one? So she'll ask and then she'll just keep that in a new database.
So is she like Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 in your office?
She'll come in 2 days a week.
Okay.
And then she works from home.
Interesting. Okay. Can we talk about work from home? Because I feel like there's a couple of like, does she have a cell phone that you pay for? Does she?
She has a laptop or a desktop that I did pay for.
Okay.
And I can't remember, but I've offered that. No, her desktop, we got a new desktop because I use Apple.
Mm-hmm.
She uses Microsoft. So she wanted a Microsoft at our office. So that's what I paid for.
Okay.
So she has one at home that she has.
Is she on the phone with clients or she's just email?
I will forward her. That is one thing that I have not given up. And I kind of need to get a better system because I really should have the phones going there, but I'll forward voicemails to her.
Okay.
She'll return phone.
Okay. Cool.
Because I still answer my phone.
Okay. Okay. So that's sales. Production, I mean, is overwhelming, but I do feel like people kind of have broken that down into like getting an inflator. And then are there any other?
So we have I'm going to call it a production manager.
Okay.
And so this is the salesperson will hand over in our CRM. It goes from there's a sales section and then it goes over to production. So we're divided up into leads. And then once it's over to production, they've committed to the job.
Okay.
So she'll take a production form.
Mm-hmm.
It's printed and we create a bid. And so there's one person that does that. She pulls all the inventory, does all the vinyl, make sure it's on all the calendars, make sure it's handed over to somebody that's going to inflate it. So we have an entire document of what's inflated on what days.
Okay.
And what's going out what days. So she oversees that position.
How early is she pulling those bins?
A month out.
Okay.
We have a 2 shelves, and as soon as we can get it, because I help oversee the inventory, she does it, pull what we need to pull. We have a document that's constantly running, but I want them to pull them as soon as they can so that we're not last minute.
Yeah. Okay. And then, because I have a pretty good system, but I don't pre-pull the balloons. But then sometimes it's like, well, I didn't anticipate 3 parties this week need maybe, and I don't have enough for that. You think 3 bags is enough, and then you're like, well, shoot.
Foils or the
Yeah.
letters or whatever it is. It's
Yeah,
like there's always something.
or I'll check and be like, "Oh, I have that," and then I put it back where it lives, and then it's like, well, I have to go back and pull that again when the job comes up and find it a second time, and I forgot where I categorized a rainbow foil.
Right.
Is it birthday or is it little kid or so it's yeah, to have like the tray system. I just bought I haven't even implemented it yet. I just put it on my wall and I got like an IKEA closet organizer. So it has the bars across that you like hang coats on. So I'm going to start pulling orders and putting them in bags and then clipping them. This is from Bree from Elevated Impression. They clip them with like pants hangers and then they hang the bags. So they're sorted,
That way.
hanging. What do you do for huge jobs? Like, do you have, I mean, it's got to be bigger than a bin when you have like a college
Well, we have
homecoming.
IKEA bins.
Okay.
And so there's deep ones and then they're pretty big. And then we have big drawers
Okay.
or like a bigger bin. And
Okay.
so they're up there still.
Okay. And then you just like, you kind of put those by week or,
And
upcoming.
then if we have an upcoming prom to where we're pulling up lights and bigger props, we will section it off
Okay.
and start pulling it in one section.
Cool. Cool.
And so she oversees that. She's also cuts all the vinyl.
Okay.
And believe it or not, it's a full-time job. And
Is it? That's what I was going to ask. How often is she
she's
there?
a 40-hour employee.
Wow. Okay.
And she's there 40 hours.
And I guess we probably should have started with this, but give us an idea of the scale of your business. I mean, your goal's $1 million.
Yeah,
You're not,
I'm not there, but that's the goal. And
but you have a big business.
yeah, and it's big and it's fun. It's fun to watch it grow.
Yeah.
It is.
But I just, I'm thinking like people listening, if you're doing 4 events a weekend, you're not going to hire a full-time person to pull your inventory, but you could have someone come in for 2 hours on a Monday and do
Yeah,
that.
absolutely. And she's taken the most off of my plate. She was hired to take the most off of my plate, and she definitely has.
That's awesome.
It's given me a lot more time.
In order to allow her to be able to succeed in that position, what does your inventory system look like? Are you one brand, one color, you have a little bit,
We
or
have multiple brand. I would say Tough Tex and Sempertex are our primary brands, and then we'll pull in other brands. But we have, again, bins with colors for each particular band, but all sizes are in that.
okay,
260s are not, 3-footers are not. We're
okay,
hanging those. But then we have a file system for our foils.
okay,
And it's worked out really well. And we have a document that has what is in each foil in each cabinet.
and she
And it's
maintains all
files,
that.
and she maintains that.
Okay, I could see how that would be a lot
And
of
so she
time.
files them, and then, well, actually, she doesn't put stuff away. So when our bins come back, we have a couple girls that inflate, make sand weights, and put inventory away.
Okay,
So we have 2 employees that inflate, put the inventory away. They maintain toolboxes, pop the balloons, put everything away, and they stay busy.
that's amazing. And I just interviewed Chris Potts before you, so this sounds different from there. But he said all their employees know how to do everything, versus you definitely seem like you have more like siloed
They have
specialists.
roles.
Yeah, I like that.
And the reason they have roles, it's if something's wrong, we have 4 vans, and so we have the toolboxes, and they all need to go through them. And I have one person that every day, whether the van goes out or not, you better make sure everything's in there. So she's accountable.
That's really cool. I like that.
Yeah.
What other are there other positions? Well, you have installers.
We have installers.
Okay.
Yep. And then strike, my installer, the guy that's been with me forever, loves, doesn't mind early morning
Okay.
installs, but he's not a late nighter. So I respect that. And he doesn't do strike.
Yeah. How have you set up strikes? Because I know a lot of us are struggling, specifically because a lot of us have gotten these marquee letters, and those all require to be taken
Yeah.
down.
One of our inflator girls, she loves a late night.
Okay.
She's a late night person. She'll do late night strikes.
And is it hourly? Because I feel like I struggle with like, okay, you're gonna go and like take all this down at 11 p.m. and you're gonna make $20.
It is hourly. But if we know, and that's part of the scheduling ahead of time, if we know, and that's what that production manager helps with, is to know to look ahead. And it's a lot as one person to logistically look at all of that.
Mhm.
So if she can look and know that on Thursday night there's a 10 p.m. breakdown, we're going to schedule that person in later.
Okay.
And so it's just planning ahead.
So
And
they're not
she
working
may
9 to
come in,
2 and then coming back at 10
she'll
p.m.
come in and prep, and then she'll take a lunch or late dinner, and then she'll go break it down.
Interesting. I think that's ultimately what I've heard from multiple people that I've asked, that is just like finding the right person. Um, someone who prefers that, or someone who's young and saving for money, or someone, Tiffany was like, I have a guy who doesn't have kids and likes money and he'll go out and do, I think it's just a
Right.
matter of finding the right
And I do
person.
believe that there's people out there that will do it.
Yeah.
And that I found the production managers through Indeed, and it's having that right job description and really
Hmm.
figuring out what you need for them to understand the role. And
Yeah.
she really is. She'll come in early. Like, she's flexible. It doesn't have to be it's everything's not black and white. You
Okay.
really need a gray person in this business
Yeah. Yeah.
because it's not a 9 to 5 job.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like, I think event people in general kind of get that. Like, I feel like people who are coming from a 9 to 5 job, it's harder to explain, where it's like, well, if the party's for whatever reason not done when they say they're going to, you can't just
Right.
like go in there and take stuff. You kind of have to like consider what the best option is or play it by ear. And you might not be home when you said, but I was talking to my friends about this because that exact situation happened. And they were like, yeah, but like, that's bartending. That's
Right.
service industry. That's anybody stripping the tables after a wedding. Like, it doesn't always end when you think it's going to, and that's
Right.
just part of the job.
And I think a lot of people in this business have been in that industry.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other positions? Is that everyone?
No, well, I have Alec that's on the tech side, and so having him on the team
Yes.
is great. And he'll also do strikes. He doesn't do installs.
And he's your son.
He's my
And
son.
is he still doing tech stuff for like other balloon people?
He is.
Can you give him a little plug?
Yes, yeah. It's Alec Barrier, and it's iHeartBalloons.com. So he kind of took that over and is running the platform there. And
Cool.
he is loving it.
And what can he do? Does he do full website setups?
He does WordPress websites,
Okay.
and SEO management, and he'll help you with set up my Google
Yeah.
business
Getting
and
found
anything
online.
tech. He's helped a lot of people, and he's had great response.
Ooh, that's awesome. So if you have none of those things set up,
Yeah.
make sure to reach out. That's awesome. Well, the other thing I want to talk about is kind of your like vision for your business and goals and all. I don't even know how to define this, but you always have an idea of where you want to go. I think a lot of people are like, we'll see what this year is and we'll do that. But like, you are, like you said, you're an entrepreneur. You're not just doing this because you love balloons so much. You're business driven. You always are trying to kind of optimize and improve. Well, what are some techniques you do to stay focused? Like, do you do a vision board? Do you do goal setting? Do you join a mastermind? Like, what do you do?
I do a lot of podcasts just like this.
Okay.
I love audiobooks. I I I think there's always room for improvement,
Hmm.
whether it's in your marketing, in your sales, wherever. There's always room for improvement, and I'm constantly looking at for that. And so I really want to hire a role that does s- outbound sales, because so many of our sales are inbound.
Sure.
So I want to hire somebody, and I also want that person to be with a marketing background.
Okay.
So truly advertising, marketing
Like, know
skills.
what they're doing, not just
Right.
like calling random places and
Correct.
hoping. Yeah. Interesting.
And to integrate that person to help with products that we might put on our website for sale
Cool.
for the online channel.
Cool. Um, can you tell us a little bit about your physical setup? Like, what does it look like to have a business your size? Are you in a warehouse? Are you in a rental strip mall? Like, where are you physically?
So we are in a commercial property. I had I was able to purchase a building right during, let's see, right during COVID. I think we signed on the second building. So we've had two buildings, and I was able to purchase the first one by owner. And so we had been looking for about 5 years. I had a friend that was in the real estate business, and he helped me get it. Owner financed it. So if you want a property, there's so many ways to get it. And so we own two pieces of property, and
Are they next to each other?
they're right next to each
Okay.
other. And so we have a 3,000 square foot building that a lot of the it's got an attic up top. So we have all of our foils and props upstairs. And then downstairs is our inflation and the production side of it. And then next door, we needed more parking. So that building became available and it's not as big. So we call that our corporate office.
Okay.
And so that's corporate. And so we have the parking in the middle.
Okay. Is that where you are then? Are you working
I
in
have an office
corporate?
there. Yeah, I'm in corporate. I'm between both, but we do have offices. And when the sales mechanic comes in, she's in the corporate. And then sometimes Alec lives there as well.
Oh, love it. Neat.
Yeah, it's fun.
Is there anything else with such a large team that you do to keep them happy? Like, do you have a lot of turnover or do you have any secrets to just keep them
This is a very
pleased?
bizarre place. This is kind of funny that you asked me, but I just, a lot of them, health insurance is a big struggle these days. And I, offered them a policy and one of them give her a stipend. I would say she was the one that was interested in it. But I was at the dentist recently and I asked them if you had a self-pay plan, and they did. And it was $250 and they got 2 cleanings, an exam, and x-rays.
Oh my gosh.
And so I came back to my team and said, hey, are you guys interested in this? And so I paid for it for all of them.
And so they all have dental coverage
And
now.
they all have, and they'll have to pay. But the dentist told me he would give them more than a 30% discount out of pocket. And they are all super excited. So they're going in the next 2 months to get it. And none of them had it.
That's amazing.
And it was so reasonable. So
Yeah.
if you want to offer that perk to somebody, ask your dentist. A lot of them have self-pay.
I've never even heard of that.
Cleaning and x-ray.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so I was super excited about that.
Do you do anything like gifts or parties or bonuses to motivate?
We do. We just did at the end of the summer, the busy graduation season, we just did a team brunch, and that was a lot of fun. And we do something at Christmas.
Okay.
We'll usually go to a dinner show. Like this year, we're going to go see Elf on December 9th. So it's planned.
Okay.
And we'll usually do a gift and we'll do a bonus for Christmas. And then they get paid time off.
Okay.
And so,
yeah, you treat it like a real job. I mean,
yeah, it
it's
is.
just,
It is. Yeah.
yeah, I feel like myself included. I mean, I finally graduated from like using Venmo. I have people on payroll, but still it's like, well, it's flexible and, you're not full time and you don't have the benefits and you don't it's scary to get to the big leagues. What would you say to people like me who, we're not brand new. We're not selling our first balloon, but it
Treat
feels
it
like a
like
jump.
it is.
Okay.
Treat it like it is. Treat it like you are a genuine business owner, leader. Don't apologize. Be grateful. Be proud of what you have. But I also think that the people we've hired want that flexibility. And I think our businesses have a lot of flexibility.
Yeah.
So the girl that comes in, she comes in at 9:30. She doesn't want to take a lunch and she gets off at 5:30. So I think, but there's one employee that I know she needs to take a lunch. And so kind of adapt to those employees. And I think that they appreciate that.
Yeah. Do you have a hard time being the boss? Do you ever have to
I'm horrible.
Okay.
That's the part that I need the biggest help with is I'm not bad at being a boss. I think it's the praise,
Oh, you're bad at praising?
like the praising.
See,
like,
I'm bad at this isn't quite right. I'll just do it. Never mind. I won't say anything. You're better.
No, it's probably the piece that I need the biggest help
Oh,
in,
interesting.
And I hope that I'm going to work towards that part.
Okay.
Because I think you have to do that to grow so that, nobody wants to leave. But I do think to continue to grow, you have to.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Cool. Well, what would you offer our listeners? A little piece of business advice from you, the pro. Something small. What would your final words be to those?
Hire early.
Hire early.
I wish I would have hired a bigger team early. You can only do so much yourself. And hire people that are better than you.
I love that.
And I think that it's hard for people to say and put your ego down and praise them and give them don't micromanage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like let them do it.
do you have a hard time with micromanaging? Like, are you checking the schedule now and making sure things are
I
happening? Or are
think
you
I have a
just
hard time holding people accountable to the policy.
okay?
Not so much micromanaging because if there's a certain way you need to do it to something needs to be done and there's a certain style there that's not negotiable.
Okay.
I think that you have to because the business has been successful because the client has received a certain standard.
Right. Right.
And with being on time and customer service and, I'm pretty strict with those items. Um,
Well, congratulations on all of your success. What's next for you? I think you said something through the outbound sales. Do you have any other big plans for your business?
well, we are adding the LED neon. So we're
Oh,
super excited about that. And we've added, I've purchased a big container of shipping container.
you know what? I emailed my company and I got a quote while we were here
Oh,
because you
that's
said
it.
that. Yeah. Can I ask how much you spent on your shipping container?
Yeah. So it was actually, I had no idea how much it
Yeah.
was. So it's $10,000, but it is fully insulated.
Oh, okay.
It has a floor that's linoleum covered
Okay.
floor, like plywood and then linoleums. It has a 3-foot normal
Some sort of
full
slide
door, and then it has an air condition
Oh, wow. So it's like
and
you
then
got like a
LED
little,
light. So it's like an office.
it's like a little office.
So we're
Yeah.
gonna line it with 2 feet shelves going down both sides.
Okay.
And then it has obviously the doors.
Okay.
So they run about $3,000, I think, between $2,000 and $3,000. But then I had it finished.
Is the outside going to look nice?
Solid blue to match the other two buildings.
Nice. Amazing. I got a quote back and they said it was 5,000, but it's not made of steel. It's like almost like a plasticky,
No.
it's like a pods and no insulation. So I was like, I'm going to hold off. That's a lot. But it is an option because I'm out of space. So I'm
Right.
like, that is a solution.
But the container one, that's what you need to
Yeah.
research to
So
see.
smart.
And I had no idea how much it.
Yeah, no,
But
that's
10,000 seems pretty good. And
it's
they
cheaper
said,
than an addition on your
they
house.
said
Yeah.
to keep the air condition on all time,
Okay.
and that it's very low energy.
Cool.
Just so wondering. So
Who knew?
yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much. I think we all have things to implement or ideas from this conversation. I'm so grateful. And
Thank
it
you.
was so
Thanks for
nice sitting
having
down
me.
with you.
Okay. Bye bye.